Well, there's Evie. You can get in there. Hey, we got people in here already. We'll let some more people get in. You want to say hi? Yeah. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop. No touching. Say hi.
Hi.
Say, how you doing?
How you doing? All right, Tatsar. Say hello to Daddy. Students.
What do you want to say hello to the students? Yeah. Well, you're not going to be able to see the students, so can you just say hello? Say, hope you have a good night. Say, be safe. All right, good. There we go.
No, not wait. Let's go.
So we'll let some more people get in here. I see we've got 7 right now. I hope you guys are well. I don't know if you're aware of this. I don't know what other teachers have told you, but the district has told us that we're not supposed to be doing any kind of like two-way conferencing yet, where you see me, I see you, which kind of stinks. I would like to see you guys. So please, even if you just write a comment over in the side, just let me know how you're doing. It's getting weird. I don't know how you guys are. It's getting weird though here. Just not having all that much to do. I am getting stuff with grading done. Rest assured on that. I put in the essays today. I don't know if you saw that. I put in the extra credit today, so there's that. So that means I have left for you guys your historical development booklets, and we'll close out the marking period then. So yeah, but please let me know how you guys are doing. Please write that down, and whatever questions you have, feel free to include them over there as well. We're not obviously reviewing content tonight. Kind of just give you the state of the AP world, and that'll be kind of what we're looking to do tonight. So yeah, Friday we got the word from College Board through Trevor Packer, who is not so well loved in AP World History circles because he's the guy who kind of dropped the decision last year to move the course to 1200. So he's already not a fan in people's books. And we being teachers, had been quietly waiting to see what was going to go on with the AP exam. And also then we were kind of looking to the IB program to see what was going on with them. And yeah, so word came on Friday about the AP exam, and I'll clarify it again. I'll reiterate what that message was. But if you're looking for further explanation, as if like teachers got more than you guys did, I'm sorry, we don't have more on it. So what we all know, and that includes you guys, what we all know is that the AP exam is going to cover units 1 through 6. So that would be periods 1 through 3 for us, which includes 1200 to 1900 then. So that means the stuff that we're currently studying, or that you were currently studying, is not going to be on the exam. So yeah, I didn't make this clear on Friday just because it came so late, and I already had plans that night and wasn't able to kind of tell you what was going on. You guys can hold off on reading the textbook for right now. More on that to follow. What I can certainly tell you, though, is that you guys do not have the historical development booklet to do for the end of the year. That is no longer going to be a thing. I'm going to drop that. My justification for that whole thing was you're creating a study guide for yourself for the AP exam. This is also new to me. It's also rapidly changing. So let's pretend I saw that it says on here, let's say we're coming back to school. Let's pretend like it's going to be, what was it, April 7th? April 7th, April 9th, maybe. I think maybe it was the day that I saw today. It was April 9th from the governor. So if that were to happen, if we were to come back on April 9th, what I would do is see how many days we had left in the year. And I want to teach you guys 20th century history. Given the state of the world and the way things are right now, I think it's really important to see 20th century history. You're hearing from the World Health Organization. You're talking about parallels to earlier things that have happened in this century that we've already kind of talked about. I can't do justice to a world history class and not teach you about the 20th century. We would do something with it. What that is, I don't know. I don't know how much it's worth me sitting and hammering out all those details right now. But we would certainly allot a significant amount of time for exam prep and exam review. So that wouldn't change, and I wouldn't just go like, oh, well, I got to teach 20th century history, and who cares what the exam now? It's only 45 minutes anyway. I would get you guys what you needed for exam review. So, Holly, to your question, are we going to continue to read the chapters? For right now, as long as you guys are out of school, no. I would say don't worry about continuing to read these chapters. If you're going to place your energy into anything AP World History related, do it with some type of exam prep. Go back, look through the AMSCO book on chapters that you're weak on, watch the Heimler's history videos, check out Fiveable. I think I saw a few of you using the practice short answer questions. I would advise you to go do that. Like I mentioned, kind of just in passing a few moments ago, we know the exam is 45 minutes. What we don't know is what is going to be in that 45 minutes, because 45 minutes can get you one of two things. It can get you an LEQ, or it can get you a series of 3 SAQs. And if I had to bet, and I have no idea, they have not released it. I think they said early in April they have more details. April 4th is the date that sticks out in my mind. It's back there, buddy. I'm throwing Messi his ball right now. April 4th sticks out in my mind that they said they'd have more details. If I were a betting man, I would bet that we'd be doing short answer questions. That's my thought. So that allows them to cover 3 different time periods. That allows them to get you guys working with some sources. That allows you to do some interpretation, both of primary and. Did you put your ball? He always puts the ball under the couch. Hang on. Got it. It allows you to do some work with primary and secondary sources. So I'm thinking it's going to be short answer question. Take it for what it's worth, though. I don't really know. It could be an LEQ for all that we know. But they said as far as like equity issues, they'll anyone who has issues with internet connection, you can use a laptop, you can use your iPad, you can use a smartphone, you can use any of these things. If you weren't interested, if you're just like, this is just crazy, it's a weird time right now, I'm not interested in taking the AP exam any longer, you could withdraw from it. I would advise you against that. I think that you guys are in a really good position to be prepared and to prepare yourself for the exam. I would strongly advise you against doing that. If any of you were considering that, I hadn't heard that from any of you, so I doubt that you are going to be doing that. But if you have questions, if you're expressing doubts about anything, let me know, okay? So I know that was Adrian's question about the AP exam. With our time off, to tackle your question, and Aditi, I did see yours as well. I will get to that in a minute. I guess, Aditi, honestly, my quick answer for as far as what's happening with report cards and everything, or when we're going to see them, I don't have any idea. We are going to have a meeting of all teachers at the high school tomorrow online at 2 p.m. So I think I'll have some more answers for you about a lot of those types of things, Adrija, including your question, will we start online school? I think I'll have a lot of those questions answered for you tomorrow in the afternoon. There's been talks of doing stuff with Zoom. So if we were to have school online, I think what I'd be doing is we would be focusing exclusively on review. I think the only way that I go back and cover the 20th century in detail is as we start to see the plan hammer itself out in the longer term. They're saying this is 1 week at a time. So I'm not going to start something with, like, I don't know, let's say we just do World War II for a couple of days and say, oh, okay, let's just go back. So for right now, I'd say let's bank on doing a review, and that's what you could probably expect to do. I like to have strong answers for you. I like to be really confident in my answers. I mean, I think you guys know as well as I do right now. It's hard to give you confident answers on those kinds of things. So, Adrija, to kind of just get to the part of your question, if we are to have online school, which I think could be a potential thing, then we will be doing exam review stuff. Evie, to your question, are there any online resources you'd recommend? Yeah, I'm gonna start posting stuff like that. I pulled some things together today. I think Fiveable is like it really is your best bet. I think AMSCO is a great resource for you, although I just realized now I don't think I have a copy here. I don't think I have your current copy here. I think I left those at school as well as the answer keys. So if you wanted help with multiple choice practice, not that there's going to be multiple choice, they've explicitly said that, which I guess then isn't an issue. But if you wanted feedback, I would just need some detailed info from you guys for feedback on that. But other online resources, I found like a general like PDF that has a whole bunch of links. It's a lot of like Heimler's history, stuff like that. AP Classroom. You know what I'll do? I'll go into AP Classroom and I'll post every single practice short answer question they have and every practice LEQ that they have. Again, my bets are on it's going to be short answer questions, but 45 minutes allows time for an LEQ too. Here's what my dog's doing. That a guy. So let's see what other questions we've got here. If we resume school on the current date, we're supposed to April 9th. Yeah, what would class look like for the rest of the year with this change to the AP exam? Yeah, Daniel, I think it would be a balance between doing justice to 20th century history, but also doing justice to you guys who have spent all year prepping for an AP exam and making sure you're still prepared with that. So like let's just be clear here. If all systems were normal, which they're not, but if all systems would have been normal, we would have wrapped up with the 20th century 2 weeks prior to the exam, and then we would have done exam review for 2 weeks. So I would still plan on reserving 2 weeks at the end of the year for exam review. But then prior to that, I would look to do the 20th century some justice. And if you're like, oh man, does that mean reading quizzes? What does that all look like? I don't know the answer to that. I'm not quite sure what exactly that would look like, but we would certainly do some stuff with studying in the 20th century. But to repeat for those of you who maybe jumped in here late, the historical development booklet for this last unit, for these last 3 units, you do not have to do any longer. Okay. And if you're like, oh, would there be a test for the 20th century? I don't think there would be something that you would have seen in the earlier units. There might be some type of assessment, but it wouldn't be this big major to do. I mean, guys, this is a strange period in our lives right now. And I'm going to do, when I get the green light, to do whatever kind of teaching I can with you. Please rest assured that I will be working hard to strike a balance between let me instruct you and teach you and present information to you and share knowledge and exchange ideas. Let's do all that. But let's also acknowledge the fact that these are strange times that we're in right now. And we are or will be or will continue to be going through a lot as individuals, as families, as communities. And if I don't take that into consideration as a teacher, I think that that's just poor practice. So we'll have to figure that out. It's going to be a exam. Holly, everything short. The last chapter that you would have done would have been the one on imperialism, chapter 32. I think in my mind sounds right. Like societies at a crossroads, like the Qing and the Ottoman, and Meiji Japan. That chapter, and then the one after that, which was on imperialism. That's where the course will wrap up. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the chapter in World War I now. I wouldn't worry too much about that. So, yeah, Shreya, I don't know much about those videos in AP Classroom. I thought that they were to start the 25th. This is changing so rapidly that like when College Board first said we're going to do these review sessions starting on the 25th, their topics for review were all 20th century topics. And then Friday, they're like, well, we're not doing the 20th century in the exam. So I don't know what those topics are right now. I don't know if they changed. I didn't have a chance to check today. But I believe that that's to start on Wednesday. DT, should we watch the streams that Shreya mentioned because they're on the Cold War? Yeah, that's what I saw too at DT. I can't imagine they're going to still be on the Cold War, although maybe the College Board is that tone deaf. I hope not. Oh, my dog's hungry. I gotta feed him. Here's a tour of my house, everyone. So I don't think that they're going to stay on the Cold War. Hi. One moment. Yeah, I think they're going to change. Check out the College Board website to see if they're saying anything different, but I'm not sure if they are. Simran, what's the best way? 5 of them is my opinion, but I think the honest truth is I'm going to post a whole bunch of things after this because I have a link to like a PDF with some different things. It's going to depend on what you need. Do you need content review? Well, then go back to Heimlich history. Go back to AMSCO. If you need writing practice, check out Fiveable. I mean, even content for Fiveable though too, because they have content streams as well. But I think the best thing that you guys can start to do in that sense, for those of you who have questions about like, well, what kind of resources can I use? What works for me? Please share that in the message board. Talk about what's working for you. This is the time of year anyway, where the course starts to shift in terms of the ownership of the course. I think a lot of you have owned this course all year long in terms of saying like, this is, I have an exam on this at the end of the year. I want to do well in, I want to take this seriously and invest. And it starts to become more real at this point in the year, regardless of circumstances that we are in now or were in the past. So as you personally come across resources that work for you, or you're using things that I suggested that work for you, share that in the message board. Share what's working for you and why it's working for you. Have those discussions. Period 2, you guys were doing a good job with it in terms of like the content end of things. Period 1, you guys were a little bit quiet on there, which, okay, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to be upset about it. I'm just saying it's a resource there for you. I know that you guys also have your group chats and that stuff, but for the people who aren't able to engage in those things, like open it up to everyone. Like share what's working for you, share what you're doing. And I'll continue to share some resources for you as well. Ethan, will the depth or difficulty of the questions in the AP exams be comparable to unit tests throughout the year? Generally speaking, my mind keeps going back that these are going to be short answer questions. Generally speaking, questions on the AP exam are broader. They cover a wider span of periods. So like, let's say that unit 2 for us was 1450 to 1750. You might get a question that will cover 1200 to 1750. It'll allow for more wiggle room. Or you might have a question that covers 1450 to 1900. But as far as I mean, Ethan, I always try to make this course comparable in terms of its difficulty from you going through my course to then you taking the AP exam. Like in my ideal world is that you guys come back from the AP exam and you're like, that's about what I expected it to be, or you're like, wow, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because I've hopefully prepared you for what's coming your way. So that's the best answer I can give you on that, Ethan. TT, I hope that changes. Keep an eye out for that. I'll keep an eye on myself too. That literally makes no sense anymore, but who knows? Daniel, has the exam been postponed? To my knowledge, what they said is they're going to have a date when they give it in May. I think it's still the 14th to my knowledge, but then there's going to be a second date that they might administer it. But I think those types of answers, I think we'll start to get those in the first week of April. Emma, yeah, same question. I think it's still the same exam date. Don't quote me on that. And then there's going to be one for later on in May too. But again, early April, I think is where we're going to get that answer. Shreya, there are all those things. Yes. Best bet for you would be practice the LEQ, practice the SEQ. Like I said, I'm going to post in AP Classroom. Excuse me. I'm going to post all the old LEQs and SEQs into AP Classroom that you guys could turn to and practice. Yeah, Holly, even if we get back to school with the exam, still stay at home and online. Yeah. They said it will be administered entirely online. So yes, it will be online. I just think that this situation is changing too rapidly. That for the APF, for the College Board to say, oh, we'll publish some print tests and then some will be digital. I think that they're just kind of preparing for the idea that they don't know the answer to that. So they're just going to cover their bases and say entirely digital. So, I mean, I guess in all of this, if you're like, I feel like I didn't get a whole lot from Mr. Lutz on what's going on right now. A lot of people are trying to give answers right now that I think are just a little bit short-sighted. Because, and I was saying this to you guys the week of all this happening, is that we want answers to everything. We want to know what's coming, and there's security knowing what's coming and all that kind of stuff. And I'm trying to listen to those sources who are providing the answers to the questions that I have, and then trying to filter through that and give you guys meaningful progress or meaningful reports on what's to be done. And I don't have those answers in a sufficient place where I feel like I can tell you this is exactly the plan. But what I can tell you is that for the next week, I'll have more answers for you tomorrow after we have this faculty meeting. I think for the next week, it's safe to say you guys should continue independently reviewing for the exam. Do not read the textbook anymore. Do not read chapter 35 and continue on from there. If we're at a point later on in the year where I feel like, yeah, we can go back and hit the 20th century and do that some justice, then we will do that. Like, it's just, how could you not? Like, it's just, it's setting up. It's too much. There's too much context in the 20th century for us to miss out on that would help clarify the moment that we're living in right now. But for right now, review. Just focus on review. And as things clear up, hopefully, I can start to make some decisions on what this course looks like for the rest of the year as things go on here. That's about it. I can't really think of anything else. Yeah, I mean, I guess just to reiterate, if you guys have any other questions, or please just tell me like what's going on with you guys. Like I said at the beginning of this, I don't know who's dipped in and out, but we as teachers have been told we cannot yet have face-to-face meetings with you guys. Which, okay, that's fine. But I think in the near future that will change. So that's why YouTube Live has been the solution, because I'm just seeing you guys type over in the margins here. But I miss seeing you guys. The year gets long. Like March is typically a really long month, and you're kind of like in the drudgery of it all. But I miss that now. I miss the normalcy of it. I miss seeing you guys. I miss cracking jokes with everything, trying to make light of it. Hopefully you guys are still doing the same. Hopefully everything's well with you. Hopefully everything's well with your families. But yeah, Holly, do I have an idea of when we will start online classes? I will have an idea, I think, tomorrow. We have a meeting as teachers tomorrow at 2 p.m. on Zoom. And we'll figure it out. Daniel, to your question, there's a chance that's based on me having no insider information about any of that, but I think if you just look to like Virginia today said that the school year is done for them. Delaware said what, May 14th, May 15th. Yeah, it's a potential. Here we are. So yeah, it's strange, but I care about you. I want to hear how you're doing. I want to hear how life's going, what you guys are watching, what you're doing to pass the time, because we're sitting here just biding the time. Luckily, we have a very cooperative 2.5-year-old right now. That's worked out well. And our dog is obviously loving all the attention. But it's about all that I have for you guys. So if you don't have any more questions, I think the next steps for me, just so that we're all clear, is that I will post some resources for you. Once again, some links for you to check out, some review resources. Please, though, check in with each other on the message board. Check in with each other, not on the message board. I don't care. Check in with each other, though. Keep the conversation happening. I'm really realizing that just to have conversations with people outside of my house has been really helpful through this. But I will post some links. I will get back to you tomorrow. Probably type up a couple things about what I heard in the meeting that's relevant to you right now, and we'll figure it out from there. Holly, I don't know the answer to that question. We'll have some answers hopefully as things go on here. So that's it for now. Till the next time, take care of yourself, and yeah, see you on Schoology. See you later, everybody.